Waverly Hills Sanatorium, Louisville, Kentucky. Located in southwest Jefferson County, this sanatorium was a tuberculosis hospital that closed in 1961 and now hosts ghost tours. In the 1930s, Waverly Hills was a big deal and pretty much the place to be treated for TB. Despite this, it still hosted a death toll in the tens of thousands. Supposedly, this place was haunted before it was a hospital, since ghost encounters date back to the river Indians, who said they wouldn't enter the woods where the sanatorium was eventually built because they were haunted. Eastern State Penitentiary, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This prison operated from 1829 to 1971. Obviously, prisons aren't designed for comfort, but this one especially sucked. The wardens would lock inmates in solitary confinement for as many as 23 hours a day and would strap them so tightly to the mad chair that it was impossible for them to move at all, while starving them for days. Current staff and visitors report hearing unexplained eerie sounds, whispering, laughing, and weeping. Linda Vista Hospital, Los Angeles, California. This hospital was built in 1904 to care for Santa Fe railroad workers who had been injured on the job. It had its own cows, chickens, and even a garden to provide patients with the freshest milk, butter, eggs, poultry, and vegetables, but was declining rapidly by the 1970s. The Santa Fe Railroad sold the 150-bed hospital to a healthcare company in 1980, and now it's been used for TV shows and movies. Crew members have reported crying sounds and shadows. Some of the movies that have been filmed there include Insidious 3 and Zombie Strippers, starring Jenna Jameson. The tagline is, "They'll dance for a fee, but devour you for free." Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Former state hospital for the mentally insane, ghosts of Civil War soldiers and former patients can still be seen walking through the nearly 3 miles of hallways. On a positive note, this hand-cut stone building is the largest of its kind in North America and has been in existence since 1858. Upon opening, it only had 250 residents, which is all it was designed to hold, but at its peak in the 1950s, more than 2,000 patients were here at one time. This resulted in overcrowding and terrible conditions. It got so bad that it was forced to close down in 1994, causing a devastating blow to the local economy, which it still has not recovered from. Maybe that's why the cheapest ghost tour they offer is $100. Moundsville Penitentiary, Moundsville, West Virginia. About 1,000 inmates died here, some of natural causes and some of violent circumstances. 94 men were put to death after executions began in 1899. Less than 500 inmates were housed here when it opened, though it was only built for 480. But by the 1930s, it had about 2,400 inmates. Because of this extreme overcrowding, 3 prisoners at a time were forced to share a 5-by-7 cell. Construction to expand the prison began in 1929, but because of the iron shortage due to the war, was not completed until 1959. The prison was forced to close in 1986 when the West Virginia Supreme Court ruled the small cells were cruel and unusual punishment. It later came out that the prisoners were horribly abused by those working in the penitentiary. Many ghosts are lurking the halls now, but the most famous is the Shadow Man.